7:27. Thanks so much for staying with us here on ARC Rochester. We're following some potential serious news out of Rochester-based Eastman Kodak.
Yeah, financial news outlets this morning are running headlines like 133-year-old Kodak says it might have to cease operations, and Kodak warns it may not be around much longer.
Yeah, that warning came this morning in a going concern disclosure in its latest earnings report. It reads in part, quote, "These conditions raise substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern as of the issuance date of the company's second quarter financials."
So for an explanation of that statement, we've asked George Conboy, chairman of the Brighton Securities, who watches Kodak closely, to join us this morning. George, thanks so much for joining us on such short notice. These headlines coming out just within the past hour, 2 hours or so. Curious to know your initial thoughts.
Well, anytime we see a going concern disclosure, it really means that there's a serious concern that the company may no longer be in business. In this case, while the initial reaction is, holy cow, the reality is a little bit like this. Kodak is going to get a large windfall, probably $500 million, from the termination of its pension plan. Sidebar is that the pension people, the people who are due pensions, are all going to be taken care of. But Kodak's going to get this money. They can use it to pay their debts. And so the going concern issue will probably go away. The analogy would be this. Let's say you and your spouse are both working, paying your mortgage, and one of you loses your job. Well, you look at the books and you say, holy cow, we can't pay the mortgage if one of us doesn't have a job. But at the same time, your aunt has died and she's going to leave you a whole lump of money, and you can use that to pay off the mortgage or pay off most of it. So while you don't have the income coming in to pay that mortgage payment from your job, you know that in a few months when the estate settles, you'll get the money to pay off the mortgage. That's sort of where Kodak is right now.
And I'm wondering what specific group may be very concerned about this right now. For example, retirees, is this something where they have to start checking their books and making sure that they have things in order as they wait right now?
Just the opposite, Stephanie. Fortunately, just the opposite, that is. So Kodak is terminating its pension plan. That sounds like a negative, but the reality is, going forward, the pension payments for retirees will be funded by insurance companies. Kodak is going to pay them a large lump of money from the pension termination to guarantee the pension of all former employees who are entitled to a pension. And so at least the retirees are fine. The people that should be most concerned are the employees. There are about 3,600 employees worldwide at Kodak these days. The reality is that even though Kodak will be, so to speak, paying off a lot of its obligations with this pension windfall, the fact is going forward, they're still not making money consistently. So Kodak's a small company these days, but it's a big name. And if they can't at some point start making a profit consistently, that will be a problem for employees.
George, just from a personal standpoint here, it is pretty sad to see what's happened to Kodak. Give us your perspective on that, how what used to be such an empire has now fallen to what we're seeing this morning.
Yeah, when I started in business here in Rochester over 40 years ago now, Kodak was head and shoulders above everything. Of course, tens of thousands, I want to say it was 64,000 of our friends, neighbors worked there. Kodak was the biggest philanthropic force in Rochester. You think of Strong Memorial Hospital, named for Henry Strong, the first partner of Eastman Kodak, and now, of course, our largest employer, Strong Memorial. And so Kodak there was nothing like it in the region, and now it's almost gone. To give you a comparison, Kodak's total market value now is about $500 million, about $500 million. These days, Paychex pays out to shareholders $1.5 billion in annual cash dividends. Paychex is worth $50 billion, 100 times as much as Kodak is worth today. So although it's sad to see Kodak go, it's good to see that we've got at least some other things coming up in the Rochester area.
And when it comes to, at least now, we're looking at Q2, is there a way to sort of cushion things by Q3 for Kodak?
Well, they have done a good job of keeping costs down, and they're chasing customers in their various markets. And from quarter to quarter, they have made some money over the last few years. So it's not an absolute ski slope down for Eastman Kodak. They are good competitors in their markets, and we all have hope that they can keep being so. But it is not a clear path for them. They've got to continue to work hard to do it.
George, we appreciate your time today. What should we be watching for when it comes to reports out of Kodak?
Well, you'll see the stock is going to be down. I got to check my screen here. I think the stock is going to be down about 10% today, 13% so far. So Kodak stock is way down. I do think that's kind of an unusual knee-jerk reaction. The fact is, as I said, the markets are concerned that the pension deal won't go through properly, and Kodak won't get the money and can't pay its bills. I don't think that's going to be the case. Kodak will get the money, they will pay their bills, and they'll keep going. But watch their earnings from quarter to quarter. Just check to make sure they're making money. That's what I'd be doing if I had an interest in Kodak.
Something we'll certainly be paying attention to here. Thank you so much, George.